Starting with flood hazard protection, the City of Kettering wants to make you aware of flood hazards to your property and let you know what the city is doing about this and things that you can do to reduce your risk. In 1980, the City of Kettering, the State of Ohio, and the federal government worked together to prepare a flood insurance study to better document the flood-prone areas in our community. Since then, the city has focused on efforts in reducing potential flooding. As a participant in the National Flood Insurance Program, the city has begun a community outreach service that can help lower your flood insurance rates. Flood safety, in other words, protection of life. Whether you live in a floodplain or happen to be caught in a flooded area, you should take several steps to decrease your risk. First, do not attempt to cross a flowing stream where water is above your knees, or if it's flowing quickly, even at your ankles. You don't know how strong that current can be. Keep children away from floodwaters, ditches, culverts, and storm drains. Avoid driving in high water areas. You might not know how deep it is. I have a personal experience with this where I was trying to drive my car underneath a railroad bridge. I didn't know how deep the water was underneath. I knew it was raining. I thought I'd take a chance, and well, I had several $100s worth of engine damage. So if you don't know how deep the water is, don't drive through it. It's just not worth it. Ensure to cut off all electric at the fuse panel or the disconnect switch. And if this is not possible due to high water, turn off or disconnect all electrical appliances. Always use safety because that current can travel through water. And certainly don't smoke or use candles if you have gas in the house, because any open flames could set off an explosion. Protection of property. Some low-lying areas of Kettering are subject to flooding caused by water settling on flat areas and by overflow of the Little Beaver Creek and Little Sugar Creek. Houses have been built along the stream channel in some areas, so once the stream leaves its banks, it can quickly spread across backyards or parking lots, and even into basements of some of the homes and commercial buildings. In both 1959 and 1973, storms caused flood damage to Kettering homes and businesses. Damages from the 1973 storm were estimated at more than $800,000, of which $750,000 were in private homes. Other areas, including Houck Stream, Penn Creek, and the Moraine Drainage Stream, continue to cause potential problems. To help safeguard your belongings, elevate or relocate your electrical panel box, furnace, water heater, and/or washer and dryer above the flood level. Place interior flood walls around utilities. You can install interior and exterior backwater valves and basement floor drains. The Montgomery County Environmental Services have a program called the Basement Drain Disconnect Program, and what that can do is ensure that when the water rises, that it has a valve there and that a sump pump allows the water to exit out at a higher level, thus reducing potential damage to your basement. The number there is 781-2500. You can also move essential items as time permits and furniture to the upper floors in your home. Keep materials like plywood, plastic sheeting, and lumber handy for emergency waterproofing. Of course, we all get insurance for our cars and our houses, but a standard homeowner insurance policy does not cover flooding. Kettering, however, is a participant in the National Flood Insurance Program, which enables you, the property owner, to obtain federally backed flood insurance. Flood insurance can cover structural items which are permanently attached to the house, such as furnaces and/or the contents. The average annual premium is several $100s, and the actual cost will vary on the amount of coverage and the degree of the flood hazard. Although we encourage everyone living in the floodplain to safeguard their property and belongings with flood insurance, it is actually a requirement in some instances, such as when purchasing a federally backed mortgage. Maps showing the floodplain can be resourced from the City of Kettering, Montgomery County, and Greene County, or FEMA. You can contact us and we can help you locate your property on a flood insurance rate map, also called a FIRM or a FIRMET. There's also electronic versions of these online, and we can help you if you call us. Additionally, in our files, we have information such as elevation certificates, records from letters of map amendment and letters of map revision, of which are handled through the FEMA. Substantial improvement requirements. If you're going to increase the value of your home by over 50% or create a new building or you have an improvement as such, you must get a flood permit. And these can be handled through the Planning and Development Department at 296-2441. And you should also do this before beginning any type of ground disturbance or major construction. If you have any questions, again, you can call the Planning and Development Department. So what has the city done to what is the city's efforts to help reduce flood hazards? Well, Kettering has a storm drainage system that's comprised of both natural and man-made materials. The open sections are natural channels and swales and ditches that carry storm waters away from homes and businesses to natural drainage areas such as creeks and rivers. The man-made or storm drainage system is built largely out of concrete material, which carries waters from streets and developments to drainage areas. This is generally done with the catch basins you see in the streets or in backyards, using concrete pipe or plastic pipe running underneath the road or generally underground and outletting into these creeks. It's important to maintain this drainage system in good shape. Anything such as leaves, trash, sticks, these can cause obstructions within the system and cause problems on the road, in backyards, and when things flood on the road, that's a safety hazard for drivers, and in backyards, these things can certainly become to the point where it could cause flooding on property, in worst case in the structures. The city looks at trouble spots that we know in the city after every major storm and periodically, up to 30 times a year. So please be aware of what's around your property. Ensure that leaves are not going down into your catch basin, sticks, and trash. And call us if you have any problems. The number to call is 296-2472, and that's the city's public service department. Again, the city contains files which can help you. Certainly, if you live upon a stream, your property may have already had a letter of map amendment completed or an elevation certificate, which can help with flood insurance costs. If you have any questions, you can talk to the engineering department or the planning and development department. The number for the engineering department is 296-2436, and the number to the planning and development department is 296-2441. As well, a considerable amount of literature on flooding and flood protection has been compiled at the library at the Wilmington Stroop Road branch at 3980 Wilmington Pike.